So, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Welcome to Canon Fodder TV, and it's a Monday show. I haven't done a Monday show in a long time, long time. I've been doing other things more important than podcasting. But you know what? You might remember my brother Isaac from when we were like, the pandemic, and we were doing like 2 or 3 live shows a day. Oh my goodness. Anyway, brother Isaac, how's you, man? You're right.
I'm doing good, brother. Indeed, the during the pandemic, the show kept us very, very busy. There was
Yeah,
nothing to do. We were very busy do- doing shows here and there. But I'm great. I'm great. I'm grateful that I'm on this platform. We've made friends from here. It's a whole community. It's a lot of friends over here.
yeah. And I was speaking to Seema today, and she told me she met you on the last day before she had to return.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. The power of Canon 4A TV, man. Connecting people.
sure.
Connecting
All over
people.
the world.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, we're going to talk about the game that happened yesterday. Man United. Oh my God. Well, anyway, brother Isaac. So this was the 11 that Mikel Arteta chose to play against the old enemy. You know, Raya, Benny Blanco, William Saliba, who I believe was chosen as man of the match on the platform. Gabriel, Tomiyasu, Declan Rice, Thomas Partey, Martin Odegaard, Saka, Trossard, and Kai Havertz. I'm going to ask you this question. Player of the season. If you had a choice between Kai Havertz, Declan Rice, and Leonardo Trossard, who are you choosing? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Right on the spot from the beginning.
Sorry, man.
You see, at the moment it's very hard to pick because all the boys are doing great. Everybody is doing his job. That's why it becomes a little bit of hard to pick who's the player of the season.
Hmm.
Because you could argue your case for Trossard, you could argue your case for Havertz, you could argue your case for Rice, you could argue your case for Saliba. Everybody, if you pick either of those, you can argue your case out. You go for Trossard and you say, look at what he's brought. Look at the times he scored equalizers. Look at the times he scored winners, goals to win the games. And then you go to Havertz. There are times he's scored winners. That is, I can remember Brentford home and away. He won us the game single-handedly. Yesterday he gave the assist, and actually during halftime I was watching the analysis, and the way he was scanning the field to see who is there, and he scanned and he saw Casemiro
Yeah.
has him onside, and he asked for the ball. You could argue a case for Declan Rice that he's solidified the midfield, that he's really brought this team together in the midfield. If you go to Saliba, you could also argue a case and say that last season, without him, we crumbled. This season, with him, he's given us the solidity at the back. And funny enough, that he's been given man of the match away at Etihad, away at Anfield, and away at the theater of dreams. Now I call it the home of nightmares. We're giving them nightmares. Everybody is giving them nightmares here and there. He's been given man of the match in those big games. So whichever player you choose, you could argue your case. Let's not forget of Odegaard. Odegaard is the one knitting everything together. The silky passes he's displaying. You could argue your case for everybody, and you could also say Somehow Magalhaes is underrated.
Yeah,
He's the
yeah,
fighter.
yeah.
He's the one who, if you want to fight, he'll tell you, bring it on, brother. Bring it on. But Saliba is one of is the cool-headed. You have one
Of the two.
who's a
Yeah, yeah,
fighter, and you
yeah.
have one who's cool-headed. Saliba is clear, calm. But for Magalhaes, if you want to play dirty, bring it on.
So did you give me an answer? Who you choosing? Declan Rice, Havertz, or no? I'm only joking, man.
All the players have done good for me.
Okay, okay, all right. Brother Prosper has entered the building. What's
Yes,
happening?
yes, yes, yes.
What's happening, man? You
Hi,
okay?
hi, hi, Isaac.
Hi, Prosper. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
So Prosper, we just I posed a question to Isaac about
Yes.
player of the season. Who are you going to choose of these three players?
Mm-hmm.
Kai Havertz, Declan Rice, Leandro Trossard. Who are you choosing for player of the season?
I think for me, I'll put it in a pecking order. Kai Havertz wasn't even supposed to be on the list, honestly speaking,
Mm.
because you have to look at a player's number of games, minutes on the ground against the performance. You give me 10, 15 good games against 40 games, that's a fail, you know?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So because Trossard doesn't have that much game time, so it would be very difficult to argue his case against Declan Rice. But Declan Rice has really done as good. He's solidified that midfield, and when Partey was out, he really stood up to the occasion and held it together. Without him, we would have conceded a lot of counter-attack goals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we don't have that pace in the midfield apart from him.
Okay. So Trossard, player of the season, not for you. No.
Sad only because he hasn't been given that much time. I would like to see him play more next season.
Okay.
But for Rice, I think he's been there every game. There's no game where you can say Rice was out of the game completely.
West Ham.
No,
Didn't
the West Ham game. If you look at it, if you look at it from a football perspective, as a because he was playing in as a holding midfielder.
mm,
So sometimes somebody ahead of you can give away the ball at a very critical situation, and sometimes just impossible for you to mark such balls. So I would say some games you can't really blame it on him because when you're in attack mode and all of a sudden somebody gives away the ball and you have to cover and all that. Yeah, he might have been having some off days here and there, but they were not as bad as the rest of the team. You know,
mm, mm-hmm,
where we would
mm,
literally single out, like Saka would have some days where we'd literally go like, okay, today he's really off, or Odegaard today is really off. You see, but as for Trossard, he wasn't given as much game time. That's where the problem is.
okay.
So there was 20 minutes late. So for us to compare him with Rice, it would be very difficult because Rice has been there from the start to the end of all
Mm,
things.
okay. All right. Brother Isaac. So going to the game yesterday, man. Oh, Man United, man. Oh, how the mighty have fallen, brother Isaac. The field of dreams, like the field of nightmares, absolute
Yeah.
nightmares. Now, Isaac, was it really in doubt that we are going to go to Old Trafford and lose? Not for me. Not for me.
No, no.
Yeah,
We're not going to lose. Even the bookies, we are 100% on Arsenal because in the history, in the history of football, that is United against Arsenal.
yeah.
It is the lowest, the least odds Arsenal we are given. The least. I was looking at the odds that we are given, that is for United against Arsenal, and I was like, boy, everybody expected we are going to slap them. Everybody expected that. And when their lineup came out, I was like, these boys, we're gonna kill them. We're gonna finish them. But I went back to history and looked at how we've played or when we've won at the theater of dreams, now fallen, and is the home of nightmares. And I realized that we've been winning 1-0 when we beat them. Remember the last time we won there was Auba's goal, which
Yeah.
was uh, which was flagged for offside, but after VAR intervening, we won 1-0.
Mm.
The 2-2, we won there 1-0, and I don't know if it is, yeah, we've won there 4 times, 1-0. And I was like, okay. And then when we started playing, we did not play that good. I don't know if it is because of the history or the nerves kicked in, but what I care is that we won 1-0, 3 points. 6-0
Exactly.
is 3 points. What
Exactly.
I care is that we
Yeah.
won. We
Yeah.
took the 3 points. and and if you looked at my WhatsApp status, I updated that let's go there and put some respect to the badge. That is what we want. There is some progress. I can see that progress. And you could say last season, nobody expected us to challenge last season. But surely for this season, everybody had us to challenge.
Mm.
We've come a long, long, long way. At the end of the day, not winning anything, yes, you'll feel disappointed. But all in all, let's take the positives out of the season. That we have the best defensive record. Had it not been Pep in the Premier League, Arteta would have won it now twice.
Twice. Yeah.
He's challenging the best. He's playing against the best. And he's this is his first managerial career, and he's brought in the love, the unity, the vigor in the fan base. Going to the United stand and singing, Old Trafford is falling. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Let the Glazers be there for the next 10 years. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Shit.
Uh,
Okay. Actually, to be honest, we are playing the best football, if not in the Premier League, in Europe at the moment. And we have the best centre back pairing at the moment. And we've got to build on that. That is what he has to do. Just build on that. I feel sorry for Arteta because there's nothing more he can do at this point. Yes.
but you said build on that. In what sense? Signings, or what do you mean build on that? What do you mean build on that?
You could add more signings because you look at the City squad. It's like he has two teams. He has two teams. The other time is Nathan Ake got injured, and then someone in the hall where I was watching was like, "Oh, they are done," and I asked, "What do you mean they are done?" I just told him, "Look at who's warming. Is Walker. Ake comes out, and then they bring in Walker." But for us, at the moment, you take out Benny Blanco, and then if Tomiyasu is playing on the other side, who's the replacement? Is you have Cedric Soares. He's not a quality player at the moment. But for City, the space that a player like Cedric Soares occupies has someone else who is of the same quality.
Mm-hmm.
So at the moment, if you get rid of a Cedric Soares and bring in someone who's of a Benny Blanco quality, sorry, you get rid of El Neni, the legend, who's not played for the club for the longest time. and he's not complaining. You get rid
Yeah,
of Elneny and
yeah.
bring in perhaps a Zubamendi. You get rid of, let's say, Thomas Partey, because I believe his time is done. He's too injury prone for me.
Yep.
And bring in someone like Bruno Guimaraes. That is quality now. And then you go to Saka's position. You give him someone who could compete with him, because that is the only position I think at the moment that has no backup. And Saliba centre back, Saliba a right-footed centre back also, because that is Saka and Saliba, the two. I don't believe we have quality backups for them. But
Hmm.
if you go to the right back, you could have Tomiyasu, you could have Benny Blanco, and you could also we have Timber, who's yet to come, and I'm really grateful that they have not rushed him. They have
Yeah,
not
yeah,
rushed him.
yeah, yeah,
Let him recover and
yeah,
let him come back as a new signing. So
yeah.
our depth compared to Man City are monstrous when it comes to their depth. They have two teams, and I feel sorry for Arteta, because he's done so much, but then he's been backed. And if they back him also this coming transfer window, and he reinforces that and gets quality players again,
Hmm.
I believe he's not going anywhere soon. He's going to keep challenging, because you look at his identity. He has his identity. You see what he wants to do, and I can see the unity that is there between even the coaching staff. It is there was a game where they were playing the North London anthem, and Gabriel Jesus was singing along, and just the other day when we were playing against Chelsea, the North London anthem was played, and Arteta's assistant, that is Stuiberg, was singing along, and I was like, okay, this thing has rubbed into everyone's skin. Everyone wants to identify with the team as it stands. I want to identify with the team even more, because we are performing. We have rebuilt, and we are heading to the right direction. And I'll not say Arteta has failed. Arteta might have been manager of the season, but sadly, because City are capable of winning the remaining games, the remaining two, he might not be manager of the season. But had he won, definitely he would have been manager of the season, and Odegaard would have probably been player of the season. But just because we might not win, then they are not player of the season and manager of the season, simply because you are playing against the best.
Okay. Brother Prosper, was it
Yes.
really in doubt playing against Man United that we would have lost?
Mm, I do not like to underrate Man United because all the time Man United has performed against us is when we have had a good run and they had been a bit sloppy, so we'd go there overconfident and then they would whip us. If you remember, they are the guys that broke the unbeaten run in the Invincibles.
Hmm.
They came
Hmm.
from nowhere, they were not playing well, and they beat us. And they broke that record. So
Hmm.
going to Old Trafford, it's no longer about who is in form or what. As you saw the game, at the end of the day, possession wise, they were better than us. Shots on goal, they were better than us. We only beat them on shots on target. You see, they had 15, we had 11 shots. So for me, and that's the worst Manchester United we ever going to meet in a long time because they're not going to stay under for a long time. They'll come back. So going to Old Trafford, my worst case scenario was a draw, but I had more hopes that we would win this time around because of the state of the team. They have a lot of injuries. They've been so disorganized. They didn't make wise signings.
Oh, sorry, I think. Sorry, I think I put you on mute. Sorry about that, Prosper. Sorry.
You put me on mute.
Yeah, my finger just touched the button. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. So I was saying, I think my last statement was going to Old Trafford. I was expecting a draw at worst, but I was very hopeful because they hadn't made very wise signings at the end of the at this season, especially at the back. They've stuck to the old defenders for some strange reasons, and with the injuries they have, I was expecting a win or at worst a draw.
Yeah, yeah. But because I've got a good friend of mine who is a Man U supporter, and I'm looking at the players, and to me, it doesn't look like they're fighting for Ten Hag. They just look like a team that's fractured, lacking confidence. And as I said on the instant post-game reaction, that Casemiro will get the headlines because he has not made it into the Brazilian squad. He was also a terrible performance against Crystal Palace. But looking at Man United, they have a chronic problem with the club. It's not only one or two players. They have a chronic problem with. I mean, they can't keep hold of the managers. Ten Hag, I think Mourinho was there. Um, there's a cultural problem at Man United. But I'm looking at Man United. I didn't really believe that they were going to turn up and that they were going to beat Arsenal. I just couldn't see it, Prosper. I couldn't see it. They were
Yeah,
so
yeah.
bad.
As I've been saying, people might raise a lot of applause for Arteta, but if there was the best time to win the league, it's been these past 2 seasons because especially this season, there's been a lot of drama outside the pitch. There's been FFP, there's been Chelsea, broken Chelsea. As I kept on saying on the group, a broken Chelsea, a broken Man United. Liverpool also had their backroom problems, and that's why Klopp is leaving. We'll hear the actual story after he's left. But there were issues there. And there had been issues. If you remember, even at the end of last season, there were rumors that Klopp is leaving. You see, so it hasn't been easy for most of our opponents because, like Manchester United, they went into this transition phase, they've never recovered. And the worst case scenario is they feel they believe changing of managers would work to their favor frequently, but they've realized because I was talking to one of my brothers is a so Manu fan. My dad was a Manu fan. Yeah, so he reads, he goes deep into everything. So they were like, they're intending to keep Ten Hag, but they want to get rid of all the players except 3. So that tells you something. But with the financial fair play, I don't know how that is possible, but that's their plan, because they figured out that they don't have the right squad, and that's been the problem with Manchester United. Every time a new manager came in, he was faced to work with players that he didn't have much say on. Now, when Ten Hag came in, he didn't understand British football, you know. So he came with players like this Brazilian guy, this flowery player,
Anthony.
Anthony. Yeah,
Anthony.
he's too playful with the ball, not efficient. So that doesn't work in English football, you see. So now he's realizing, okay, it's not about the flair and the flowery football here. It's about physique and pace, basically. Yeah. So that's it.
Just going forward from the points that Isaac made, just 2 players that came to mind. Prosper. Yeah, what are we going to do with Gabriel Jesus? Are we going to keep hold of him? Fabio Vieira, are we going to keep hold of him? Are we going to keep hold of those players?
Look here, I think this is the debate that has been going on forever. I'm one of those people who stood up for Arteta. I just haven't had the chance to go on Facebook and pull up the debates I would raise for Arteta in 2019, 2020, and back him up. I would write a whole thing on some Arsenal blog, But then I realized that he's making the same mistakes season in, season out. Much as we are improving, but if you cannot beat, if you're saying we have to, Guardiola has to be out for us to win the league, then that's not a competition, because that then we play in favorite. We can't be better than City. Is what we say. So we want Guardiola or to go into a transition phase for us to win the league, and that's not good. And if you remember very well at on the Arsenal group, I said, look here, you can be getting 90 points in a season. You can be the PSG of France, but when you go to Europe, you fluff because maybe the Premier League standards have gone down, and you're thinking you're scoring 90 points, you're doing well, but maybe the standards have gone back. Then when you go to Europe, you find you're being hammered real bad, and then you wonder, how are we being hammered? It's because
Mm,
probably getting those 90 points because the league has become too easy. You might not
mm,
know. So the best case scenario is to be better than the best team. That's improvement. Not waiting for everybody to slap down to have a bad day. That's when you claim we're better than everyone. No. So for the past 2 seasons, the EPL hasn't been the EPL. I've never seen Chelsea that broken in a long time. I've never seen Manchester United that broken in a long time. I mean, teams don't win, but at least they'll be around the top four area. You know, not what we've been seeing, them struggling just to get over the finish line over a game, and celebrating like Chelsea did this weekend. I'm like, okay, you
yeah.
see.
So Prosper, do you for next season, do you see those clubs you're just talking about getting better? Your Liverpool's, although they kind of fell away the last 4 games. Do you see Chelsea getting better? Do you see
I
dare I say,
do
Tottenham
not,
getting better? The-
yeah. Let's start from the first question you asked, Arteta. Yeah. So I was saying Arteta has recurring problems, and the season hasn't even gone to wraps. He started mentioning about replacing Zichenko, something that frustrated me because we've got some pain points in the team, and the pain points are Saka's deputy. We need Odegaard's deputy. We need two centre forwards, and we need at least one holding midfielder to back up Party. And then he's there trying to sell off Zichenko, who's not that bad, who win you small games. With Timber there, that position is okay for me. We don't need to stress about that one. But he's there saying he's going to sell Zichenko. So that means tapping into the money, which you would have got two center forwards, and a deputy for Saka and another attacking midfielder, another defending midfielder. You see, then we'll reach that financial fair play threshold, and then he will say we don't have the money when he's focusing on the wrong position. You see,
yeah,
and that has
yeah,
been the case. That has been my issue for Arteta for the past 2, 3 seasons. We know our pain points, but when he goes into the transfer, he'll go and buy an attacking. That's why I've had an issue with Kai, because Kai wasn't a necessary buy. We needed a center forward, you know?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
You see?
mm-hmm.
So for me, I feel if he does well this transfer season, as Isaac was saying, the depth is what we lack, and depth is filling in those gaps. If he does well this transfer season, well, we have a good chance, which brings us to the next question you asked. Next season, believe me, if a team has the financial backing like Chelsea, Manchester United, you cannot hope on them to be down forever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
All it takes is for them to get a brilliant manager, and they'll be totally, because if you look at their squads, especially Chelsea, they don't have bad players. They just need to add about 2, 3 players, and they might not win the league against us. As I kept on saying on the group, they might not win the league against us, but they will upset us. They will get 6 points off us.
mm,
You see,
mm.
and that will drag us down. This season, we've been very fortunate. We've done very well against big teams. But next season, it won't be as easy, because if Zidane comes to Liverpool or Chelsea and Tuchel comes to Chelsea, it will be a totally different game, as you saw from Bayern Munich. Arteta had no say against
Yeah,
Tuchel.
yeah, yeah.
And everybody was like, oh, it's a broken Bayern Munich. I'm like, guys, come on. You see? So when we look at the big teams, we're looking at the points they'll grab from us. You see, they might not be contenders or they might not be above us, but they might grab crucial points for us to end up, for us not to win the league again.
Do you know what you make an excellent point about overcoming and beating a Man City? You know, in order for you to be perceived or seen as the best, you have to beat the best. You know, you can't, like you said, you can't wait for Liverpool just to drop off towards the end of the season. You know, Man City to have a bad patch of games. In order for you to be the best, you have to beat the best. And that's just the way the league is. They are on the verge of breaking a record of having 4 Premier League titles back to back. But in order for you to break that, you have to beat them.
Exactly.
You have to have more points than them at the end of the season. That's just
exactly.
the way it is.
This throws us back to the Champions League, you know. Dortmund can't say without Real Madrid, without whoever, we should be champions of the Champions League. No, you have to beat the best. They have to beat Real Madrid for them to claim they're the best. There's no dodging these bullets and waiting for others to do the work for us. I mean, I think we've learned quite a lot for the past 3 seasons, especially on Manchester City. If you fluff in the first half of the season, there's no way you're going to give Manchester City a run for their money in the second half. Because in the first half, that's where they're weak. So that's where you're supposed to be strong. And that's where Arteta was making again the mistakes, experimenting, giving away free easy points, you know? And those points are the ones that have cost us about 2-3 games. If we had won some 2-3 games that we drew or lost in the first half of the season, this time around we'd have been celebrating.
But also we lost. No, but we lost twice against Aston Villa, didn't we? They did the double over.
Those are expected, but we gave away points with teams that we didn't expect to give away. Aston Villa would understand. You know, as I keep on saying on the group, football is a mathematics game. It's not like the fixture is drawn as you go in the league. It comes out before the league kicks off. So you're supposed to say, okay, fine, guys. If worst comes to the worst, we should be drawing or losing against Man City, drawing or losing against Liverpool, these big 4. But the rest of the teams, we should get all points. And then you should have a target. You should say, okay, at least by this period of the season, we should be above 70 points. You see, mathematically. So some games which you give away, like the Aston Villa, you know you're still within that catchment range. That mathematics should work. But when you give away cheap points against small teams, that's where the problem is, you know? So you never find a team like City giving away free points against small teams. They really, unless if that team has really played well and they've outplayed them, but they really go in full throttle. But for us who are playing party, wing back, and then you wonder how one of the best midfielders in the world, you remove him from the midfield, and then you throw him wing, and then you draw a game or you lose it, and then you complain that maybe I think we've been losing the league. Depth has its say, but I can also look at the Leicester City that won the league last time. Manchester City was at top notch. Chelsea was at top notch. It was winning the Champions League. Manchester United was better than it is today, but Leicester City won the league. Liverpool was better than it is today, but Leicester City won the league. They didn't complain about depth. They played their match right. They never gave away easy games. At worst, they would draw.
So, Prosper, here's a question for you. Are Arsenal going to win the Premier League
this season?
This this is, I don't know, man.
What is the mathematics saying?
We just had him ask. This season.
What is the mathematics saying? What is the mathematics saying? If tomorrow Tottenham draws against what is the mathematics saying there? So if City draws against Tottenham, then they've practically won the league because they just need a win in the last game, right?
Yeah, that is it. That is it.
So, as it is, It's a 70-30 chance.
It's
You
all
see?
in
And
City's hands for me.
Say again, Isaac.
70.
It's all in
70.
City's hands for me.
Yeah. Unless City blows it, somehow they borrow it, then we have a chance. But as it is, it's a tough call.
All right,
You see the
Isaac.
way
Yeah,
Tottenham are playing, I can't see them stopping City because
Yeah.
they haven't drawn a game at home. They either win or lose, but I can see them losing
Mm.
because the high line, the
yeah,
they are
yeah,
conceding
yeah, yeah,
goals.
yeah, yeah,
They are shipping in
yeah.
goals here and there. They are shipping in over 2 goals. So that is up to 3, 4 goals. They're
And if you
shipping
look
in
at the
goals
points,
even against teams like Sheffield, Burnley. They're shipping in goals. So I cannot see how they are going to stop City tomorrow, despite the history. You
mm,
can see our history against Man United, but we won. And I cannot see them
mm,
stopping Man City in any way. And Pep has a way of winning all his remaining games. His
mm,
final 10 games, he has a way of winning. And actually, he's 33 unbeaten now, and we haven't seen that. People have not been seeing that. All they have been seeing is they've been looking at how silky Arsenal are playing. They haven't seen is like City have
mm,
been under the radar but doing their job. And they are not, for me, they are not losing tomorrow. They are
mm,
winning that game and they will slap West Ham. That is for the final game. They are not losing any game. And where
mm,
we lost it when we lost to Aston Villa at home. That is where we lost it. Had we won that game, then it would have been something different right now. And
September
let's not
7.
forget, Fulham has taken 4 points against us
Yeah,
this season.
yeah,
Mm,
Four
yeah,
4 points, Fulham,
not
yeah,
healthy.
and
yeah.
not Chelsea. We've actually done better against the traditional six. We haven't lost
Mm,
against the traditional six. We took 4 points over Man City, 4 points Liverpool, 6 points United, 4 points Chelsea, 4 points Tottenham, and we haven't lost. And we were saying that to win the league, you have got to beat the champions. We've beaten the champions. We've taken 4 points off them, and we are not winning.
exactly.
that's the
That's where
sad.
the
That,
mathematics comes in, eh?
that's the sad
Masao was saying.
reality.
Let me
That's the
go into
sad
the live chat.
reality.
Yeah, let me go into the live chat. Anyway. Colin says, "Get it, Alex. Prosper, my brother. How are you?" And Isaac, have you arranged for your family member Kamavinga to come to Arsenal yet? Oh, he wouldn't come. He wouldn't come
I
to
don't
Arsenal.
think I don't think we're going to sign Kamavinga. I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
because you look at the quality and the profile that Arteta is signing. I don't think he fits in his profile.
Mm, yeah,
Arteta
yeah.
wants versatile players, and kind of he's buying soft bullies right now. Nowadays, we were so soft, but now he's buying soft bullies.
Soft bullies.
They seem soft, but they are bullies. Like the Ben Blanco trying to take off Vicario's hand gloves. You see, you see, you'll not be surprised for there to be a rule next season that you cannot do that to a goalkeeper.
You wait and see. You're right. You're
You
right.
have to wait
Yeah,
and see. There
yeah,
might be a
yeah.
rule because there was a rule that came up because of Martinez, the goalkeeper Martinez, the way he was intimidating players before they take pens. And there was a rule because of that you cannot talk to players when they are before they take their pens. You have got to step on your line and wait for the pen to be taken. That rule was brought in because of him purely. And right now, because of Benny Blanco's trying to take off Vicario's hand gloves, you wait and see. You'll
Uh,
see a rule that is going to protect keepers.
as far as feeling sorry for Arteta, I simply just cannot feel bad for one of the highest paid managers in the Premier League that has had massive financial backing. I mean, he's been back to the tune of £700 million in the course of 4 seasons. Prosper, a lot of money, man.
A lot of money. And this is what I keep on saying, you know. I said it on the group a few days ago. We have become a club of excuses. I'm not calling it what it is. You know, we lose, you know, when we're not contending for the trophies, we're saying, but Arsenal, we love Arsenal not because of trophies. Yet we're laughing at Tottenham because they don't have trophies. So where are we? You know, when we comparing Arsenal to what Chelsea has achieved and the other clubs have achieved, given the same amount of money, then we go like, oh no, but it's not about trophies. It's about how we playing, how well we playing, blah 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 blah. But then we're laughing at Tottenham because they don't have the trophies. So where are we exactly? Because at the end of the day, it's about winning the trophies. I don't start the league season and then people are on us. We are not real Arsenal fans. You're not a real fan if you don't expect trophies. I'm not here just to support Arsenal, they're not winning. Arsenal, no, I want trophies. I want my team to win trophies. I want to walk with pride, you know. I come from a home that has got versatile fans. My mom has been Liverpool ever since the 80s. My dad has been Manchester United ever since the 80s. So the family is so diverse. And then when you lose a game here, you start feeling it right from home till the next weekend, next match day, you know, so they can pick on another person. And when you go to work, it's the same. Wherever you are, it's the same. So not winning, because we can talk or we can say, hey, so many unbeaten runs, so many goals, best defender, and the Chelsea fan will just came, show us the Champions League. And then you are quiet. You know?
It's funny you say that, Prosper, because I've heard that said about me. You know, oh, you know, but don't forget, you know, we came close last season.
Yeah.
You remember the first two seasons where we are now, that's progress. And I always say, as a common fan, I want to see my club winning major honors. Because nobody remembers who came second or third. People only remember winners.
Who remembers the team that was second to Chelsea in the Champions League? Nobody. Nobody. I have to go into the internet and check who won. You know? Nobody remembers second place. Nobody remembers best defense. What? Nobody remembers that. You know? All they remember is who carried the day. And that's what we want at the club, because we've been given excuses for the past 20 years now. 10 left, 10 right, but we're talking about 700. And with the money they've promised him this transfer season, we're talking about 1 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
Is it 1 billion, yeah?
1 billion. 1 billion.
1 billion, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about 1 billion. Look at what Liverpool has achieved in the time. They haven't even hit the 1 billion mark. Look at other teams, what they have achieved in the time. And you look at us, we are the ones who are down there, you know? And then there's all these excuses like, okay, it's the first season. I understand about the league, but when we give away small trophies, even, that's insulting to the game. Because if Alonso grew up with Arteta. These are childhood friends. They grew up together. Their fathers are friends. They've moved together in life into the management. If Alonso also said, this is my first job, I cannot win the league, would he be famous today? And look at the club he won the league with.
Yeah.
It's not as powerful as Arsenal is in the EPL, you know? But he went against all odds and won it in style. So if you just have that winner's mentality and no excuses, you will go far.
Yeah.
So for me, I think let's get done with excuses. And when we start this season, let's give Arteta specific goals and penalties. You fail to do this, you're going out, our friend. You fail to reach the semi-final of the Champions League, you can't really win it, I say. But if you fail to reach certain levels, you're going out. It's not acceptable that we give away. Edu comes to the public and speaks about the Champions League before we even kick off. No, it's not our. When you've given away other trophies and then you go there as a sports director saying, no, it's not our priority. So what's our priority now?
You know what, Prosper? I wish you was a board member at Arsenal, man. I would vote for you.
Yeah, we just have to get rich and buy a lot of shares there.
So Isaac has a whole load of money, man. Right, Tony Pugilistic Boy says, but Arteta beat them twice this season in 3 games. Well, I would say to you, Tony, why is it over the last 3 seasons they have won the Premier League? And if they are to win their last couple of games, and Arsenal was to win their one remaining game, they would have won the Premier League for four times. 4 times. So every match matters, Tony. Every match matters. And like we said, in order for you to be perceived or seen as the best, you have to beat the best. And that means winning the Premier League above anything else and win major honours. And we're not anywhere closer to doing that. But that's just my opinion. John Gooner says, evening, Gooners. Man City lost points too to small teams. Don't be silly.
Okay. Let me just respond to Tony. Man City lost points to small teams, but where are they now? They're in a better position of winning the league. They've been winning the league. What have we won? Because we want to always give reasons. That's where the problem is. As I was saying earlier, brother Tony, you have to calculate your mathematics. Even Man City knows we're not going to win all games in the season. But if we're to give away points, let's give away points against tough teams. And let's give away points when it's really tough. But whatever points we can salvage from a game, let's salvage them. And that's what Man City is good at doing. But for us, we haven't really mastered. And that's what we're talking about. We have to master that art of winning the league, not just winning the match day. We're not here to beat Manchester City and celebrate, oh, we've won. No. We're here to beat Manchester City and at most win the league. I would rather lose to Manchester City both runs, but win the league. I'll celebrate more. But if I'm winning against Manchester City, then I lose against Everton in a league. I think we lost against Everton. I think so.
Let me check that out. Let me check that.
You see? Then you have to raise questions. I mean, Everton has been bad. And Fulham has gotten 4 out of us. You have to raise questions. You have to say, okay, why is it that we can beat Man City and we fail on both legs? We can understand sometimes some games are sold by the referee. But if you look at other games that Arsenal has taken points, they've been dives. And that's one thing I hate about Kai Havertz. I don't want to win games the crooked way, because the next time you won't have that chance to win a game out of dives. And Kai Havertz has been diving a lot this season. He's been diving a lot, which tells me we cannot win the game in a fair and square manner. You see?
Possibly, you're right. You're right. Last year, we lost 1-0 to Everton.
You see? So those are the games that hurt me a lot, because those are the games we were supposed to capitalize on, and we go into a City game. Guys, this is a 50-50 game. We might get it, we might not get it, but we're still in the safe zone. But we gave away that safe zone. Last season, we did the same. 10 points ahead, we gave away that safe zone, whereby even if City beats you or Aston Villa beats you, you're way ahead. They won't catch up. You see? And that's the mathematics and the skills Arteta has to learn, that, okay, you can be 10 points ahead, but if you don't play your maths right, you don't get what you are supposed to get. You're going to be hammered. And this is exactly, and it's so painful for a team to come from back, to come and win the league on top of your head 2 times. Yeah. And then we're like, okay, it's fine, but we beat them on both legs. They're gonna show us the trophy. You beat us, but we got the trophy out of your hands.
Isaac, I'll give you the last call before we end the show, man. What do you want to say, Isaac?
Isaac is a bit engaged now. We can also look at what made us lose the league this season, or get us where we are. We haven't yet lost it, but mathematically it says so.
Yeah.
One,
but like I said, it's been those games, isn't it?
It's been those games.
Double over us.
And we have to ask the question: why did we lose these games? And it all goes back to the transfer period. So When I look at the transfer activities and then the league is starting, and I say, well, I don't think we're going to win this league. It's because I'm looking at what the competition is doing. We already know Manchester City is about five steps ahead of us. And then you go into the transfer season. Manchester City is really reinforcing. You go and buy Manchester City riffraffs. You see, this is where the Jesus question comes in. And he's also trying to buy another Manchester City riffraff. You know,
Is
you were
he?
talking about the
Who?
center forward from Manchester, who I don't know. And I'm like, he hasn't learned his lesson from buying riffraffs from our competition. You know, you see? So these are the things. So we go into the league with all these things, players that they understand, our opponents understand very well, who their weaknesses, they understand very well. And then we go into the league hoping we will win. You need that element of surprise, you know. They might get you 3, 4, 5 points. You know, by the time we're discovering who Haaland is and how to mark him, he's already done the business. You see, for City. You see? But
Uh,
that's a threat factor that a player comes with when he's fresh in the system. Helps you carry the day, and that's why we're losing it. We're going for Jorginho's. We're going, honestly speaking, for the money and the caliber of Arsenal, we would have done better. You know. So
yeah.
if you look at, honestly speaking, whichever Arsenal fan is watching this today, start accounting for players Arteta has bought ever since he joined the club. Those Brazilian defenders, Pedro or whatever, and those that have materialized. Look at the waste we have had, and then you see how where we get to 700 something million pounds. He's wasted a lot of money on May tries. It's now Arsenal is a big club. It's now time to sign players. You know, these guys are gonna perform, and if you have at least 50% plus, you know, positivity that this player is going to materialize. I mean, this is football. Sometimes they flow, but don't just go and buy any other player with the hope of resurrecting their career or turning them into something and trying to outdo Wenger. You know, these are different times.
Yeah.
Football is moving so fast. So we really need to look at our transfer period. Then let the games flow. Football handle itself in the pitch, but let's do what we can do before the season starts. You see?
Brother Isaac, I'll give you the last few minutes before we end the show, man.
Well, where do I start from? But I've wished for us to win the league for the longest time, and even my friends. I have some I have some bad friends, some bad United friends.
I understand.
Who keep telling me that someone who was born in 2004 is now married and I've not seen Arsenal lift lift the trophy.
Same here. Same here.
I have some very bad friends, but I tell them they have also hit a decade. They have also 10 years, and 20 years is not far away. They can also hit 20. So that is my solace. But I want us to win major honors. Are we in the right path? Yes, we are. But the ultimate thing at the end of the day is what do you have in your hands? What can you show? What do you have? What can you say that I won this? And Arteta has been backed, true. If the other day we were discussing with my friends that had it been Wenger who was backed this match, we'll have lifted the trophy.
Oh, nice.
Oh, Unai, true. But the media, the media did not give Unai peace. like they are not giving Ten Hag peace at the moment. And I really feel sorry for Ten Hag at the moment because they are not giving him any peace. And amidst his struggles, amidst the so many injuries he has, they're not giving him any peace. They're on his case. And we have the spending cap that was voted in. I want to believe that is to regularize what every club spends and the salary, the amount of salaries they are paying their players. Let them save the league because we are turning into a farmers league at the moment. Because spending left, right, and center, giving players 8 years contract. You see, if you give me an 8-year contract, of which I'm guaranteed, that is 8 years salary, I'm taking it. I'm taking it. Doesn't matter if I'm playing or I'm not playing. That disadvantages other clubs or other teams that are not able to give them 8 years. That is how cheeky Chelsea were to spread that across so that they're not caught up with FFP. But that one has been regularized now, and I believe I want us to have a competitive league, not where Man City is winning and winning. Let there be Arsenal winning, let there be a Chelsea winning, let there be a Man U winning, but not Tottenham for me. And as a fan, the only thing that will bring you joy at the end of the day is major honors. No matter how we look at it, no matter how we say we have progressed, no matter how we say that in the club's history, 27 wins is the highest in 136 years. That is the highest, beating even the Invincibles. And I was watching some pundits who are saying that it's like for you to win the Premier League now, you have to win each game in your second leg, not even draw. Win all the games in your second leg, and don't underperform in the first leg and expect to win all games in your second leg and win the league. It is going to be impossible. You've got to. It's like for you to win this league now, you've got to make sure you don't lose. You have to make sure you have an invincible, and not an invincible of winning 26 games and the others are draws. Make sure then you win up to 30 games and then draw 8. Perhaps you have a chance there. But I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping for the best. I'm not going to bank on Tottenham to win tomorrow because that is a lost cause. Because every Tottenham fan right now, they want to roll over. The rivalry cannot allow them to draw even that game. But I like the Ange press conference. He said, I'm not going to lay down. I'm not going to roll over. But I understand the rivalry, but I'm not going to roll over. Just if you're going to roll over, then you do not know football or do not understand football. Because in football, what you want is to win, not roll over just because of the rivalry and the history that you have with another club. So I want us to win, yes. I want us to build from where we are today. Arteta has built each season. From his first season, he's not finished with lower points than his previous season. His second season was an improvement from the first season. Third season, an improvement from the second season. Yeah. And now it's going to be an improvement from last season, yes, point-wise. Because last season, City won the league with 89 points. True. This season, we have 86, and we win on Sunday, we have 89. Where City won with, and probably not win, because City will have added 2 points to that.
Yeah.
And then you had done by. So let him improve next season, because he is 89 points. The next season, minimum 90. That is what we're asking of him. Next season, minimum 90. Minimum.
Sure.
Or add even 4 to that and have 93 and see where it gets you.
Well, you know what? We have come to an end on this rather rarity on a Monday evening show on Cannon Fire TV, and I've got to thank Prosper. Thank you for giving us your thoughts. Yeah, excuse FC, man. Love to make excuses, man. Excuses. No, it's because of this. Oh, it was because of that. Oh no, it's because of this. No, it was because of that reason.
Yeah, just to say one thing,
Yeah.
it was
Very
so
quickly.
yesterday. So one of my brothers came and said, "Oh, so Kai Havertz has already said, no, I'm going to rally for Tottenham so that we win the league." So he was like, "Ah, so you're waiting for your friends to do the bidding. You can't win the league on your own, you know." So this is what Isaac is saying, you know. Sometimes you just have to go all out in. For me, the points 90 and whatever do not count because it's also subject to other teams. How strong will Chelsea, Manchester United, whatever be next season? Because that also determines how many points the league ends at, you know?
Yeah.
Because they're so strong. The team that will win the league might win it with 70 something points. And that's what football is supposed to be, you know? So the everything is on Arteta. He's improved, quite all right. But the only problem I have with Arteta, and I'll keep on saying this, is he's not working on the mistakes, the crucial mistakes that we all have been seeing the past seasons, the signings. The crucial signings we really need. You cannot be playing with Saka, with an injured Saka, for almost the whole season without a deputy. Sorry. Let me.
Oh, there's an echo.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. A club as big as Arsenal cannot be having one player in a position of Saka. It cannot be going into the season for 2 or 3 seasons without a centre forward and giving excuses. No, but we have an injury of Jesus. We have what? I mean, Jesus is not even first caliber for a club of Arsenal's level, you know? So, as Isaac was saying, if you're not playing players like Edin Ketia and the rest, let them go to other teams. Get players that will assist the club. I don't hate AD. I don't hate Emil Smith Rowe, and I feel bad if a player who I perceive to be talented to be stagnant just because the manager is rigid or has an issue against that player. You know, let them go. Buy players that will help us, will get us. Even if a player comes from the bench, gets us 10 goals, a centre forward, 15 goals. That's points taking us ahead. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
We have to end the show. We have to end the show, Prosper. I'm sorry. But you know what? I got a funny feeling that we might have to do another show in this week, and a bit of an extension before the Easter on Friday. But Prosper, Isaac, it's been really good to have you guys back on Cannon Fire TV, even though we're going to be ending in the next 2-3 weeks' time. But Isaac, brother Isaac, thank you so very much.
Pleasure is mine.
Thank you so very much, brother. Thank you, family, from everyone on Cannon Fire TV. There we go. All right, guys. So that's it. And the next time you will see me might be on Wednesday, possibly. We've got a bit of an echo. Yeah, might be on Wednesday. And who knows? You might see the return of Prosper and Isaac. Yeah. Excuses FC.
Yeah, we need to go out of that. I'm tired of excuses. First, it was the managers are not being funded. We went over that era. Oh, we're building a stadium. Oh, Una is not getting them. We went over all that. You see? Okay, the league, you cannot win it sometimes because football is what it is. But when you give away the FA, without even to the final or the other cup, and then, I mean, just giving it away just like that. And the other point that I really...
Very quickly, because I do have to end the show. Very quickly, Prosper.
Yeah, like Isaac was saying, the FFP has come in, you know? So if you look at how Arsenal has changed from a team that used to work on its youth team to what it is now. Right now, we don't have a vibrant youth team. And that's where Man City Liverpool and other opponents will beat us because our youth is not producing the caliber that it used to produce. And now this is when you need the youth team to be vibrant. You see?
Okay. Anyhow, that's it. This on a Monday evening has been Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world.